Because we are live. Do not fall.
The screen is flashing.
Which screen? Yeah,
That one.
totally.
Okay.
Ooh. Hey guys, you are tuned into Life Uncensored. I am Skylar Dawn.
I'm Sean Reeves.
And I'm already spinning.
Okay. Come back.
Come back to Life
around.
Uncensored.
Here you are.
Hey, sorry we're a little late. We had a couple things going on. We had to clear up our research before we jumped on. So,
I'm
how
glad
was
you didn't say technical difficulties.
It wasn't typical to the normal.
Technical difficulties. We were still prepping for the show, guys.
This is your brain. This is your brain on Life Uncensored. If any of you guys are our age, you'll remember those commercials.
Yeah.
So how was your week?
My week was great.
Yeah?
Yeah, it really was.
Good weeks, good weeks?
It's good. It's good.
Tomorrow's a special day.
It is a special day.
Yes.
It's my son's 10th birthday.
Yay.
So I finally prepared for it today. I went out and got all of his gifts. And I have been like putting it off because I am a firm believer in that when you give a person a gift, you give them something that they want.
Yes.
Something you know that they'll like, something that they'll appreciate.
That's a setup for later.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
But he kept changing his mind. Like he changed it every minute, like up until...
Your son?
Yeah. Up until like 2 days ago where he was like, okay, Mom, this is what I want. I'm pretty certain this is it, so get me this for my birthday. And then, of course, you know, being a mom, you have to play the game with them. I don't know if I'm going to get that for you. You just have to wait and see. You know, you have to build up the suspense.
Oh.
Yeah. So he's been in
And of course
suspense
he's getting it.
all week. Yeah.
He's not watching right now.
No, he's
Well,
not.
he better not be watching.
He's not watching. He's not. I promise he's not. But no, so I had to build up the suspense as to, you know, what he's going to get for his birthday. You know, so it can be just like, you know, it'll be a surprise. We're having a gaming themed birthday party tomorrow for him.
Does he know that?
No, he doesn't know.
Oh, okay. So it'll all be a surprise.
It'll be a surprise. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could have guessed that though.
What, the gaming thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he likes to do.
Yeah. He's like addicted to it.
He is.
So.
He is.
Oh, it's so fun. So fun.
Maybe he'll grow up and win me like $5 million as a gamer. Like that one kid on the Fortnite challenge.
You
We'll
said
see.
that. You said that when we talked about the Fortnite
Yeah.
thing. Aww.
So, you know,
But
it's
you had
what
a
he
good week
enjoys.
though.
I had a really good week.
Good.
Yeah.
Do anything wild and crazy?
Anything wild and crazy this week?
If you did it without me, and so that's not cool.
You know, I'm really thinking about it. Did I do anything wild and crazy? I am going to go with no. Because if I can't remember it,
Then it wasn't that
it
wild.
wasn't
and
wild.
crazy.
It wasn't that wild and crazy.
Right.
So no, I had a normal suburban week.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll take that
yeah. Now this weekend, I'm gonna have a wild and crazy weekend.
without me. But
I'm
gonna have,
sorry.
I'm gonna have my own wild and
Yeah,
crazy weekend.
I'm gonna be in NOLA this weekend, so I'm excited about that. Yeah,
That's good.
it'll be fun.
Are you gonna go visit Chloe?
No,
Our ghost.
no.
If you watch Life Uncensored regularly, you'll know that Chloe is our
Yeah,
ghost.
we have a ghost named Chloe who resides in New Orleans. I will not be visiting Chloe.
Well, I
At
bet
all.
she'll be visiting you.
I hope not.
Yes. So I was sick all weekend.
Yeah, you were.
I was in bed all weekend long, sick. Had the flu.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. But it wasn't that bad, so. I mean,
It wasn't that bad.
Not really.
It had you flat on your ass.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't like how it could have been.
Oh, like you weren't like near death's door.
No,
Just
no,
really
like
sick.
like Trey had the flu, when he was younger, and he had like 106-degree temperature, and he was like super, super, super sick. Like I honestly did not believe it was the flu when the doctor told me it was the flu,
You
because
know,
I was like, I
This,
just don't feel well.
Right.
But I didn't think it was like.
did you get the flu shot this year?
I never get the flu shot.
No. I
And I've
got
never been
last
diagnosed
year,
with the flu, so.
and I didn't get the flu. I think I had an acute version of it last week too,
Yeah.
because my stomach was a bit upset. But I think this year's version of the flu, at least some strains of it, aren't as rough as they've been previously. Because I've known people to have the flu and still function normally every day.
Not that we're negating
No, we're not
negating anybody else's symptoms or sickness.
But I've known a couple of people this
bad.
season who've had it, and it's been like, I don't know, is there a version of the flu called the walking flu? You know, like how you
walking pneumonia.
Yeah, like
the walking pneumonia was pretty bad, but
where you can still function normally to where it doesn't actually have you confined
I really
to bed.
just thought I had. Okay, so I'm just gonna say this to you guys. So if you guys have these symptoms, you'll know that this can actually be the flu. I really thought I had food poisoning or a stomach bug because I had the stomach version of the flu. I didn't know that existed. I had no idea that that was even a thing.
Right.
And it is.
And like normally you contribute it to like the last thing you eat.
Yes.
Or you ate, like what did we have? Because we went someplace together. We probably went to our usual spot.
Yeah, our usual spot. Well, we didn't go to our usual spot this week because both of us were sick.
No.
Mm-hmm.
But like right before that we were together someplace. And then you came down shortly thereafter not feeling well.
Yeah. We were somewhere. I don't remember. But we did spend time together.
We went to the poetry thing.
No, that was afterwards.
That was after you were sick?
That was after. Yes, that was after. Because last Tuesday, before we did Lyfe Uncensored, we were both sick.
Yeah. Everything's
but we weren't sick.
No.
We weren't sick.
Because you were fine when we went out to the poetry place. And then
no,
it wasn't
until feeling good afterwards.
It wasn't until after that though, like when you got home, you were like, oh my God, I feel freaking horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, during damage control, I was like, I don't think I can handle this.
We left early.
Yeah. I'm not feeling well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So see, that's what I'm saying. I never felt bad.
Right. And so we thought it was food poisoning because you thought it was maybe what we had.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah, I didn't know. So that's what I'm saying. Like I just haven't felt good, but I didn't feel like dead or anything. Which when my son had the flu, the only time that anyone that I've been personally with that's had the flu, he literally couldn't stop coughing, had 106-degree fever, had it for like 7 days, couldn't go to school, was like deathbed ill.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like that.
Yeah, that's how my son was when he had the flu. Like, I've had the version of the flu many, many moons ago where I was content to die.
Yeah, no.
I felt bad.
I had a low-grade fever for a couple of days. My eyes hurt, and I had a stomach bug.
Like, it's a good thing that it wasn't coronavirus.
Yeah. Well, and I had a bad headache, but see, remember when I was on here last Tuesday, and I said for 6 weeks I've just been dying with my headache. So remember I said,
yeah, but I don't know if the flu causes a prolonged headache.
No, it doesn't. So what my doctor said was I wouldn't have known because my headache was so bad from my migraine.
It was masking the other symptoms.
That I wouldn't have known if the body aches and the headache was from the flu because my headache was already so severe from my migraines that symptom that most people would be like, oh my God, do something, I'm dying. I was already past that.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Well, you're over the hump now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Perfectly ready to have some fun.
Well, let's get to it.
So, this is Lyfe Uncensored. I'm Skylar Dawn.
And I'm Sean Reeves.
And we are going to jump into In the News. So, there are 5 confirmed in the U.S. cases of the Chinese coronavirus. 5 confirmed.
That's insane.
Yes. So, the first one was in Washington State.
Mm-hmm.
Then, I don't know where the other 2 are, but the last 2 confirmed cases was Arizona and Orange County.
Right. And currently, right now, in China, over 90,000 people are infected with the coronavirus.
Oh my God. There's 106 that are now dead there from the coronavirus.
Oh my gosh. So, but it's one of those viruses, because the world is a much smaller place now, that it could easily turn into a pandemic. I hope it doesn't.
Yes, it
But
could.
I know some countries have already closed their borders, and Korea is one of them. And people coming in from China are being quarantined. My friend's mom just came back from China, and she was placed in quarantine.
Yeah, they're saying that they hadn't yet, but they're going to start doing it at Houston Bush.
Yeah.
And over in China, in that I can't say it, but the place that starts with an H where the market and everything was, that they have all those people quarantined,
Right.
and that they weren't letting them leave now.
I think it was the Hongnan province.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's people there that, their families, they're saying they don't know when they're going to let them leave.
Disney World, Hong Kong closed.
Yeah, they closed.
Yeah, they've closed down until they can get this, under wraps.
Yeah. So it is crazy, but they're saying, even here in America, they're saying, if you're sick, just stay home. Like, don't chance it, because between the flu that has become such an epidemic here in the U.S., and that the flu shot is not covering all the different strains of the flu, and the coronavirus, just stay home. They need people to not be infecting other people. So stay home.
Well, hopefully, those 90,000 that are sick in China, hopefully they find some type of, treatment for them.
Well, it'll probably be like what the Ebola virus, where now they're, they have everyone everywhere working on some kind of
Some type of
maybe not such a cure, but
a way to treat the symptoms.
Yeah,
possibly.
or what's it called when you like the flu?
A vaccine.
Flu shot? Yeah, vaccine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, together we can come up with one complete thought.
I consider myself to be pretty brilliant at times.
Well, me too, at times. So together, all the time, we're brilliant.
Yes, we got this.
Okay, so Leak City here in Houston. Leak City, so that's just like kind of south and east, I think, of the city.
It is.
There's a child rapist that he met the child on this app. It's called Likee, so Likee.
I've never even heard of this app.
It looks kind of like the Instagram, like it has those colors on it, but it says Likee and it has like a heart or something.
Is it Instagram for kids? I mean, what is it?
Kind of, I guess, but it has GPS on it, and I guess kids don't realize it. Maybe they do. I don't know.
Whoa.
Yes.
So is it like the Snapchat app where you can share your location and a person can pinpoint you?
I don't, all I know is it says that he found the child via GPS. He was looking for kids in the area, so use the GPS to find kids. He found this girl, convinced her that he was a modeling agent, and he showed up at her house and raped her.
Oh my God. That really seriously makes my stomach hurt.
Yes, it is so freaky, because we've just talked about over the last couple months how kids were getting in cars or taking transportation and going to the predators. Now we have the predators hitting the GPS ping and finding the kids.
How old was this kid?
Okay, don't let me lie. I don't know. You may.
Because I'm wondering, like, where were her parents? Like, what happened? How
underage? She was home alone. She was home alone.
Oh.
In Leak City. So she, I would like to say old enough to have a phone, but now parents are giving all children of all ages phones.
It's just
so
that poor girl. It's so traumatizing and just heartbreaking for her.
Yes. So he actually, because of social media and because of the news, posting his picture everywhere. I mean, I shared it on my, I know I'm not the one that made him turn himself in, but I did share it on my page. Social media shared it everywhere, and he went and turned himself in. He was in the same car that he went to her house and raped her. But he turned himself in just a couple hours ago. And he said, he told them, he walked up to the desk and said, this is me. I'm the one you're looking for. And he admitted to them that he turned himself in because it was getting so uncomfortable. He was all over social media.
Was he in fear of his life?
I don't know if he was in fear of his life, but he said that he was just everywhere, so he turned himself in.
Wow.
Yes, and he was on the Ring camera. That's where how he was caught. They had a Ring camera.
I want to say unbelievable, but nothing's unbelievable anymore.
No, nothing. So
he should be castrated.
that's actually I went down to hashtag WTH. I skipped the news.
Oh.
Hashtag WTH. Let's go back up to in the news. 9 perished in the helicopter crash along with Kobe and his daughter Gigi Bryant in California, in Calabasas. And they now do have the recording from the helicopter pilot.
Right.
So they will get that news and hear that. So R.I.P. to
all the victims involved.
The victims involved.
You know, and it's especially tragic. You know, my heart goes out to his wife and his surviving children. But you know, one of the families has a surviving son and daughter now. So now we have
like children,
right?
Right.
So these siblings lost both parents and their sister.
Yes.
In the crash.
Yes. Well, the thing that was so sad to me was so Kobe and his daughter perished, so that leaves a wife and 3 children. Then the husband and wife and daughter perished, leaving 2 children without their parents and mother.
And their sibling, yes.
Right, and their sibling. Then a mother perished, leaving the husband and 3 small children. They're like 3, 9, and 11, I believe. And then it was another mother and daughter perished.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure exactly what, but she left family behind as well. And I don't know about the helicopter pilot. I don't know what family he left behind, but 5 families.
5 families, all of these people who are immediately affected.
Yeah,
by this tragedy.
5 families. So prayers for all of the families involved. That's a lot of and a lot of young children.
Yeah.
That are left.
I mean, it's devastating.
Yes. Another earthquake this weekend in Puerto Rico.
Like, Puerto Rico can't catch a break.
No, they cannot.
My
This is like the 4th, I think, recently in Puerto Rico.
And, you know, I remember years ago, I don't remember this much volcanic activity.
No.
Or well, not volcanic, because it's not a volcano, but like, whatever, like
under the ground
activity.
Now, do you think it's because we're digging for so much oil?
I don't know, but I know that volcanoes underground, it is volcanic activity. Volcanoes underground, because that's where they start, underground, cause earthquakes.
Yeah, because it's like the shifting of
the
platelets, right?
The tectonic, is it techno? Techno?
Techno.
The tectonic plates.
Yeah.
Platelets cause
earthquakes. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's volcanic activities, underwater volcanoes.
Yeah.
When they erupt, they cause earthquakes.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
In the ocean.
Moving of the plates.
Yeah.
So, but I
don't know. Somebody fact check that.
Yeah. Let us know, because I don't know. I just wondered if it's because of, because they say, our president said that we didn't need oil from Iran anymore. So is it because we're digging so much?
I don't know, drilling deep down, that we would be able to drill enough to cause a shift in the earth.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
Because
they're drilling with those.
I don't know. I'm not an expert, but I think that's what they said caused the.
They're drilling with those big
in,
supersonic drills,
like Oklahoma and in the Dakotas, I think.
Ore drilling.
Mm-hmm.
I guess scientifically it is possible.
Yeah, because you're disrupting so far down.
Yeah,
because they have to.
I guess it's just like if you drill into the side of a mountain, if you drill into the side of a mountain or stuff, how would you cause a shift in like landslides,
avalanche, and
landslides, rock slides, So
I don't know. I just in my brain that's what I think.
That's what I remember from college geology.
Yeah, don't know, but makes sense to me in my brain.
I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go. Yes, that's what that is.
But it just. We're having so many, and then we don't need oil from anywhere else.
But that was like a huge earthquake. Like they felt it in like other places of the Caribbean.
Well, Miami.
Yes.
Also, Miami felt it. So we were under tsunami warnings in Miami. So they had to leave all of the buildings. They had to leave all of the condos and high rises in Miami today.
But I guess it is possible. I don't know, Phil's a science guy, he could probably tell us. Like, it would be possible because if you think about that explosion last week at the plant down there.
Plant?
Yeah. That was due to an oxygen chamber exploding. the shock wave alone from that damaged 450 structures.
Yes, in a mile's.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't
So,
know.
I mean,
That
the
just-
shifting of the earth.
Just
I mean,
kind of makes
yeah.
sense to me. I don't know.
Anyway, I mean, gosh, I feel for those people.
Yeah. So. In Jamaica, the Caribbean, they all had tsunami warnings
Oh.
today. So, just if you guys have any trips planned, maybe think about it.
You know, like when you've never see, I've been trying to get you to go on a cruise with me. Like, I've been trying to convince you for the
Well, you know what?
longest time.
What I used to say was, I will go as long as.
You get to lay in a bikini poolside.
As long as you have a helicopter
On board.
on standby for when I want to leave, or in case any kind of like bacterial virus
Or anything breaks out.
anything breaks out, or the cruise gets stuck somewhere and we have to stay there for days. Well, after this weekend,
You're not getting on a helicopter.
I'm not getting on a helicopter
But
either.
you know, the thing about
So
private planes.
probably not going on a cruise
Yeah.
anytime soon.
I am one of these days. I am going to convince you to go with me. I think you'll have fun. You just have to get on the ship first.
I don't mind yachting,
But like
not cruising.
that is one of my things. Like one of my irrational fears that I'll be out in the ocean, because when you're out there on a cruise ship, you just see miles and miles and miles of sea. There's nothing in front of you. And then when the sun goes down and it's nighttime, you see the moon on the horizon and it's glorious, but it's also pitch black. It's
Just
just
then you also think that there's
darkness.
miles and miles and miles of sea.
right. But then I always get a balcony. But like one of my irrational fears is that I'll be sitting on the balcony and I won't see a tsunami approaching.
That's not totally irrational. That could possibly
I
happen.
mean, yeah, but what's the likelihood of it though? I have a better chance.
Somebody let us know what the likelihood is of that.
Yeah, it's probably slim. I probably have a better chance of getting killed in a car accident than
Well,
being on a cruise ship with a tsunami
That's why I
coming
don't go
at
anywhere
that moment. You know what I mean?
Stay at home.
But
So I have DoorDash.
one of these days, I am going to convince you to go. Yeah.
I was going to go to Cancun.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now see, that took no convincing. I don't mind airplanes.
No, let's go to Cancun.
Okay.
I'm planning a trip in October, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
See,
doing that.
that doesn't bother me.
Easy peasy.
Easy.
Yeah. But no, one of these days, I'm going to try to convince you to go on a cruise ship.
Wait, you're planning? Oh, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
So, you're tuned into Lyfe Uncensored. I'm Skylar Dawn.
I'm Sean Reeves.
And we are now at hashtag WTH. Oh, God. This is just...
Okay,
You ready?
I'm ready.
Go for it.
$45 million in counterfeit bills were seized at the Canadian border. Insane.
Yes. And do you know they were all ones?
That's a lot of
All
fake
ones.
money. Like, how, do you imagine how much that must weigh?
Well, do you
Mhm.
imagine how rich someone could be from that? Because do you know they don't check ones?
They don't. No.
$45 million.
But I wonder how good of a counterfeit was it? Like, was it really, really good?
Well, I mean, they found it, so it must not have been so good. But they said it was found to be Chinese from China.
Counterfeit money from China.
Yeah. They are really trying to take over here.
You know what? Wouldn't it be
No
karma?
offense if you're from China,
Wouldn't
but
it be karma if we paid our debt to China in counterfeit ones? Here you go, China, ball out of control. We're gonna sponsor the
payback is
cure.
hell.
Right, we're gonna sponsor the cure for the coronavirus. Here you go. How would you like that? 1s and 5s. Yeah. That's nuts. Like, how do you even get that much counterfeit money over here? It had to have come by sea. They had to ship it here.
well, it was at the border. I mean,
Yeah, but to get it from
then brought
China,
in,
yeah, it had to come by ocean.
Yeah, but
And
I
then
mean,
they're trying to drive it across.
yeah, no offense if you're Chinese American. Like, we love our Chinese Americans, but China, like,
Wow. But you know what though? I'm not surprised because they knock off everything.
and we love it. We buy it all.
Knock off shoes, makeup palettes, clothing,
We buy it all. We gotta stop buying the shit.
dollars.
That's the thing I always check. If there's dog stuff, do you know all this dog shit that everyone buys is like made in China? I look at everything and make sure it's not made in China before I get it for my
Really?
Juju. Oh yes. I do not even buy a bone, a toy, nothing if it says made in China. I'm afraid it's gonna have like, you know how they say
lead and things
or,
like that in it, yeah.
or it's gonna have some kind of poison, or it's gonna have some kind of something. I am so terrified that I will give Juju something like that.
I recently bought a pair of
no.
earrings from China that did have lead in them.
Oh no.
And then I had to throw them out.
I am so terrified Juju's gonna get cancer or
but
some
not
kind of sickness.
everything that comes from China is bad. They've got some good stuff coming out of there.
They may.
But you don't want to risk it.
I am not gonna risk it giving it to Juju.
I think anything that passes FDA regulations.
But dog stuff doesn't go through FDA regulations.
Does it?
No. Vitamins do not. Dog stuff does not. None of that stuff. No. So I
didn't know that.
No, it doesn't.
Did you guys know that?
No, it does not. Vitamins do not. Herbs do not. Anything that you get like from a nutrition store or anything like that does not. Like herbal tea, stuff like that does not. And like dog and cat stuff does not. Nothing. It has to actually be like food consumption for humans.
Wow. There is this website and everything comes from China. It's called wish.com. Have you ever ordered anything from it?
And they don't give us any kind of advertising dollars, so we're not advertising for them.
No, they don't. But have you ever like thought about ordering from them?
No.
Because they have like it's like wild stuff on that site.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
Very wild. All from China.
Yeah, no, I haven't gone on there.
Wow.
But no, I'm very cautious when I buy anything for Juju. That's why I really do like to go. I know, well, I don't want to tell you guys my secret. I have a secret place that I go to get my stuff for Juju.
I already know where it is.
I know you do, but I don't want to tell everybody else, then they'll all go get it.
And there won't be anything left for you?
Yes, and it's all made in USA.
Well, I've got a secret for you. Well, I was going to tell you after the show.
What, is it going to like...
No. This is just like our thing.
I mean, I love you guys, but I don't want all my good stuff gone for Juju.
You know, I haven't been the best dog mom this week. My dogs ran out of food.
Aww.
I know, but I figured since I was here,
you would take some of mine?
I'd take some of Juju's.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can have some of Juju's food.
Yeah. I was going to like spring it on you later.
Oh.
That's why I brought the case of Red Bull.
Oh, no, you can have some of Juju's food. He'll share.
Yeah. So we're gonna take like maybe 4 or 5 cups of Juju's.
Okay, Juju has good food.
Yeah. I'm like, tell me it's for his cousins.
Okay. Yeah, Juju has good food. Oh, that was easy. Yeah, me all scared here. Okay, so hashtag WTH. There's a man in California. He's about to get out of prison, and luckily they found. Not luckily, it's not a good thing, but this is definitely a hashtag WTH. They found 5, not 1, not 2, not 3. Not 4, 5 infant bodies under 6 months old with his DNA that were dead. So his children.
He fathered these children.
Yes.
Where are the mothers?
From what I was reading, from what I understand, it's the one mother. But I guess he just didn't want children. And instead of having like abortion or birth control, he killed the children after they were born.
Unbelievable. What happened to her?
I don't know. The story doesn't really tell that. It just says that there's 5 children.
Now I'm intrigued because I have to know the backstory.
Well, we'll have to go and read the rest of the story and do all that. But this was just like, I was like, oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
5. Hashtag WTH. Thank God they found it because he's about to get out. So now they're keeping him because he has 5 murder cases.
He's a serial killer.
Yes. Yes. Well, if you see his picture... No offense to anyone that loves tattoos all over their face, but he almost looks like Charles Manson.
Really?
Yeah, he looks like that freaky, like...
I love tattoos.
Eyes.
Like, I love guys covered in tattoos, but not on the face.
Yeah, it's on the face, but it's like he has those freaky eyes, and he has that freaky, like, like that freaky look.
No, do it again. That's the look?
Yeah. Can I be a freaky serial killer?
Oh, wow.
I could be like a Dexter. I could kill like serial killers.
You know what? Confession.
You kill?
No.
Oh.
I've never killed anybody.
Well, you're no fun.
No. And I kill it. I've never killed anyone. I have never ever watched Dexter.
Oh my God, I know what we're doing when this show's over.
I've never watched it. I've
Or
never
doing
seen.
Dora the Hashin, starting Dexter.
I have never seen a single episode.
I guess we are not going to go to Kroger and annoy the staff.
Now I've got
tonight.
something better planned for Kroger, as a matter of fact, but we'll talk about that next week.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it has to deal with Valentine's.
Mm.
So that's a little cliffhanger. Give you some suspense.
Okay, so, oh my gosh, hashtag WTH. Let's go back to Vanessa Bryant.
And how she was notified that her husband was dead.
TMZ, what the fuck?
Listen, I generally try to, rise above the fray on social media, but I had to go over to their Instagram page and let them know exactly what I think of them.
I don't care what you think of Kobe Bryant. I don't care what you think about celebrities. I don't care what you think about death. I don't care what you think about news. No
human
woman
being
should find out that her husband is dead when she's in a nail salon. First. Secondly, all bets are off that a mother
finds out
should
that her
find
child
out
has died
that her child has been killed in a fireball
from TMZ on social media.
on the news.
Like, I can't even
the
imagine
internet.
what it felt like for her at that moment.
In a group of strangers.
She's probably in a confused, dazed, heartbroken fog.
Could you
Like-
imagine how many people surrounded her? How many people,
It would be utter chaos and confusion. Like, how do you even think straight at that
how
moment?
do you get home?
Right.
Do you even know where home is?
Like, I feel my heart truly breaks for her.
I would want to shut them down.
Well, hopefully she, and they're defending themselves. They are standing on that they have a duty and an obligation to report the news. And that's the hill that they want to die on this one. Despite
It's
compassion
disgusting.
or, anything reasonable that a human being would do, that human beings would do, or how people should behave. So, no, I mean...
Well, I will tell you that I'm an avid TMZ watcher. And for the last 2 days, I have not recorded nor watched TMZ, and I do not plan to again.
Yeah, boycott TMZ.
I did not get any of my news from TMZ today, which I have every single week for the past year and a half, and I have not.
I mean, their behavior was despicable.
I'm disgusted.
Absolutely despicable.
Which
And,
I know they're really concerned about, but they should be, because it's disgusting.
They have not issued, to my knowledge, they have not issued a formal apology or anything. What they're standing on, or what they're resting on,
I'm
is
disgusted with them.
they have a duty and an obligation to report the news, and that the police should have done a better job at notifying her.
Well, she's a celebrity, first of all. Like, finding her would probably not be the easiest thing to do.
Right.
Because it's not like she's in the white pages. Do we even have those anymore? But it's not the easiest thing to do, first of all. Second
Can
of
you
all,
imagine, like, she has a private social media page, and she's got like a couple million followers. Could you imagine sitting there on your social media? I don't know if she'd have notifications shown during, but seeing "Rest in Peace," Kobe just come down repeatedly, one after another, after another.
knowing that
Thousands
your daughter
of
is on the
comments.
helicopter with him, and all from the beginning when the news came out, it said 5 people were on the helicopter, but it said no survivors.
Yeah. But for me, as a mother and as a wife, I'm going to be heartbroken over my husband. That's a given. But I am going to be absolutely devastated if it were my children. It's just a different level of love that you have for your children that it's different from a spouse.
Like I said, I don't think I would even know where I lived at that moment.
Oh my gosh.
Like that is a dizziness, I mean,
You literally can't breathe. It's like that time Layla decided to play rape and murdered teenager. Remember that?
yes.
And I couldn't find her
Yes.
for hours. The agony that I felt then, hers has to be compounded a million times.
When Trey got arrested,
Yeah.
and I didn't know where he was. He was alive, but I didn't know where he was. I wasn't sure if he was. I couldn't find him. He wasn't answering his phone. That feeling of hopeless, restless, out of control. Nobody can comfort you. Nobody can, like, if I had to see it all over the news.
Yeah. And to be notified at the same time as the rest of America.
If I was out at an event or out in public and everybody knew who I was and everybody was just coming at me, because I'm sure people were like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like,
right.
Oh my God, I would just want to like melt into the ground and just like disappear. And I mean, I can't even imagine. Like, I'm so disgusted with them. So disgusted.
People are disgusting at times.
Hashtag WTH. On a little bit lighter note, so a man escapes custody in an airport.
Okay, that's what you want to do if you're in custody. You want to escape.
In an airport. Okay. Not that we have the most secure airports in the world, or, well, I think probably in the world we do, but next to a jail, an airport's probably the most secure thing we have.
But you know, it wouldn't be. Honestly, it wouldn't be that difficult to escape an airport if they don't lock it down.
Well, they locked it down and they found him in the ceiling.
Yeah.
I mean, you have TSA, you have police dogs.
I don't know. It was one of those things where he didn't think it through. He's like, I'm going to make a run for it. This is my opportunity. Maybe I can get out. He probably thought he could get out in the crowd and didn't count on them shutting it down immediately.
I mean, you can't even leave your purse in a seat and go pee without somebody, like, thinking you have a bomb. Like, how do you think you're going to be able to escape?
I don't know. I mean, obviously he thought he would get away.
America's dumbest criminals.
Obviously, he thought he was going to make it. He took a bold chance. He's like, this is my opportunity. I see an opening. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. You can't even put a suitcase on a bag without you being on
the
airplane.
But see, this is the thing. If you're that person who was incarcerated, right, and you're going to spend however many years in prison, let's say this guy's getting life. I don't know anything about the case. And you have your one opportunity to break free. If you didn't take it, wouldn't you live with that regret every single night for the rest of your life while you're in your jail cell thinking, what if I had made it?
I think I might try to like break out of my jail cell. That might be a safer, you have more privacy there.
It's easier to get out of an airport than to Shawshank Redemption yourself out of prison.
I don't know. Hashtag WTA. Not a very smart dude. Not very smart.
I feel like
he
gets an A for effort.
Is this one of your boyfriends?
Look, I don't know. I don't date criminals. At least not to my knowledge. But I understand him trying to escape. I really do.
Oh yeah.
How far he would have gotten? Apparently not very far. But go for it.
Ceiling of an airport.
Yeah.
What are your charges? Well,
when you see your opportunity, seize it.
I attempted escape from jail or from the airport.
I mean, theoretically, he could have made it. He could have.
You are tuned into Lyfe Uncensored. I'm Skylar Dawn.
I'm Sean Reeves.
And we are going to jump into Lyfe 101. This is about relationships, relationship topics. I asked you guys on my Facebook page if you guys had any topics you wanted us to talk about. What time is it?
We're making good time. We got 10 more minutes.
All right.
Yeah.
So, you guys gave us some topics, so we actually kind of put a couple together for you guys tonight. So, the topic that we are going to talk about tonight is sharing accounts.
And whether those accounts be joint bank accounts or Facebook accounts or any type of social media account.
Yeah, any kind of social media accounts. So let's jump into the financial accounts first, because I think that'll go a little bit quicker.
That's quick, and I really feel like, so the person asked, should you share a bank account with someone who has proven themselves to be fiscally irresponsible?
Correct.
And my answer to that question is yes. And the reason why I say it is because in a relationship, you should have a joint account and you should have your own separate accounts. You need to you have that togetherness where the funds are commingled, but then you also need to maintain your individuality. And I feel like in order to teach that person responsibility financially, that joint account has to have a limited amount of funds that they can access, into where, like, if they spend that money, or if they spend it irresponsibly, it's not going to make or break their relationship. They can use your example, and you can teach them along the way how to be responsible and how to budget by sharing that joint account.
Yes, because I think most people who are fiscally irresponsible have probably not been taught fiscal responsibility.
No, they have not.
Now, on the other hand, if it's someone who has been brought up with fiscal responsibility, and it's someone who's been taught fiscal responsibility, and they are still fiscally irresponsible or financially irresponsible, then you may need to look at if you really want to be in this relationship with this person. If you're not willing to share a bank account with them, then why are you willing to share a life with them?
Right.
Because this is not going to change.
No. And there are some people who will never, no matter how much you try, learn how to manage money.
Correct.
People who are impulsive shoppers, or who just, whatever reason, or people who don't prioritize certain things in life, like paying their bills on time, good credit, that kind of thing. I used to let my daughter have access to my bank account. So I had her on my account to where she could spend freely when I was trying to teach her to be responsible. And we had to have a sit down, because she didn't realize we had to balance the account.
Right.
Okay, the accounts have ledgers. You have to balance, you have to take into account all of your spending plus the other person's spending, so that it's not overdrawn. And what she would do is she would make small purchases all the time. So she would never make large purchases, because she thought making a large purchase was being fiscally irresponsible. But she would make a multitude of small purchases throughout the day. It would be like, oh, $3 here, $5 here, I'm going to spend $10 here. And I had to teach her, even though they're small transactions, those transactions add up. And it had gotten to the point to where one month she spent over $1,000 out of my account by making those small purchases. And it wasn't until I set her down and I laid everything out in front of her and said, look, let's go through your purchases. This. You see how this type of spending adds up? And I have a friend whose daughter recently had her account shut down because of the same type of spending.
Now, see, what I did with Trey, with my son, I kind of took a different approach to it. I gave him his own account. It was on my account, but it was his own account, so I was a co-signer on it.
Right.
And I would put a certain amount of money in it each week or each month, depending on his age. And he had his own debit card.
Right.
And so he was able to use it, and he had his own online sign-in. And so I would make him go online and look at it regularly. And if I saw that it was getting low or he'd been using it a lot, I would say, hey, have you signed on to your account lately? So that he could look on and see, oh, shoot, like, I've been using it a lot. So that he could learn that fiscal responsibility, so that as he was getting older and as he was getting his own paychecks and he was putting money in, he saw when he gets gas, when he goes to the gas station to get a Monster, or when he goes and picks up his, a t-shirt at the mall, or when he goes and, gets food at McDonald's, or whatever, when he sees those smaller purchases, that he sees that they do add up. And so that's how he learned his fiscal responsibility, because then he saw, like, oh yeah, when I do 6 purchases, that's $100.
Right.
Even though they're little ones. And so then he would have to ask me for money if he needed money, which he didn't have to do, because then he would have to hear a lecture. So he would have to learn that. But if he hadn't learned that, he would have been really crazy with money. And those are our children.
Right. And my daughter now has finally gotten to the point to where she'll always say, well, I don't have money for this, I don't have money for that. And then we sat down and we did a budget. And now you have all of this surplus money, all of this access.
Right.
Because of how
because
of how you're spending it. But I think when you're in a relationship and you're both contributing to the account, I think the person who isn't as responsible needs to contribute more of their own money to that account. And they should not have as much access to the money that you're contributing, because then they just think it's extra money to spend and they aren't really budgeting. I think that you should reserve most of your money into your own account until that person really gets a hold on spending and they can learn responsibility.
Well, my with my ex and I, I didn't work. I was a stay-at-home mom, and so we didn't have. I mean, we had a joint account, but we didn't have that situation where
two incomes
come in. So we just had an amount rule. So if you're going to spend over this amount, we need to talk about it first. And so as long as we stayed under that amount, because there's groceries, there's this,
Right.
there's that, and then money's put into the account.
Right.
We only had one account.
Yeah.
But if you do the separate accounts, like putting in the joint, I have a girlfriend who they do that. They have like a $500 rule. But they put a percentage of each of their check into the account, and then they have their own accounts. So I think however works for your relationship best, but you need to communicate it up front.
Right. And I
not
am
at the end.
Right. But I am a firm believer in couples having separate accounts, a joint account and then separate accounts. And then, but I come from a wealth management background. And then you should also have, you should have 2 joint accounts. And then you should have 2 separate accounts minimum. You shouldn't have all of your money in one location. I mean, there are other things and other factors at play that you need to consider, and that's when a financial advisor comes into play. But yeah, they should.
Yeah.
Definitely have a joint account, but then also your own separate things.
But if you're worried about the person because they are not financially responsible, then you may have to look at the relationship.
Right.
Because if they're adults,
a person's
they're probably not going to change.
A person's financial irresponsibility can ruin a relationship. I've seen it happen.
Finances are one of the main things that lead to divorce.
Yeah.
So
finances and next to adultery, I think those are the top 2.
Yeah.
And then a person irresponsibly managing the money leads to adultery.
Yeah.
So I mean, it all goes back to that, and I think it's just at the end of the day, it's a lack of communication.
Yeah, but I don't think that you should not. If you're in a relationship, you need to have a joint account. Period. Even if you have your own separate accounts,
right.
You need to have a joint account. So I feel strongly in that. Having just joint accounts, I don't believe in. So you do need to have just having separate accounts.
Right.
I don't believe in. You do need to have a joint account. So that does need, even if you're not married and you're just living together, but you've been together for a while, you need to have a joint account because you need to have access. God forbid anything was to happen to one of you, you need to have access to that money, whether it's for bills, whether it's for emergencies. You need to have access to the money.
For those of you who are in long-term committed relationships, if your partner has a separate account, they can always list you as a survivor on that account, so that you can have access to it. But then that's where, and or even a separate card in the house where they have the account information and the PIN number. But then that's where trust comes into play.
Yeah.
So speaking of trust,
here we go.
Shared social media accounts. Should a couple have a shared Facebook account? Personally, whenever I see a shared Facebook account, I think, who cheated? That's what my mind immediately goes to. And typically, on a shared social media account, it's the woman who manages the account. And I see it as we have this adult person who has to babysit another adult and control what they put out there, or they have to control the face and the narrative of the relationship. That's how I see it when it comes to joint social media accounts. Unless you run a business, unless you are a business entity, I don't think you should have a joint social media at all.
Okay, I don't feel the same way. We've talked about this a long time ago. Now, I'm not going to have a shared social media account. I'm not all lovey-dovey. I'm a little more prickly than that. But I think if a husband and wife decide that they want to have a shared social media, if for whatever reason, I kind of feel this way in life. I'm really not that judgmental. I'm really not. So if a husband and wife feel like this is what's best for their relationship at the time, go for it. Don't care. That's on you. It doesn't affect me. Has nothing to do with me. It's not going to affect me. So I really don't care. I don't see it as anything. Sorry guys, love you, but I really don't think about it. I don't really give it two thoughts. Because it really doesn't have anything to do with me. I've had some friends that have gotten married, and right after they get married, they put their accounts together and they're all so excited and they're newlyweds and this is so cutesy and everything's so cutesy, and they have their wedding pictures and their honeymoon pictures and they're so excited because all they wanted to do is get married and this is just so cutesy.
Yeah, you can have all that cutesy stuff on your own account.
But they want it together. Yeah. So guess what? I don't care. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't have anything to do with me. So
from my experience, every couple that I've ever come across, the ones that I know personally, the ones that I actually know who have shared social media accounts, there has been infidelity in the relationship.
Okay, see, and I do know some people that have shared accounts. To my knowledge, there's no infidelity. A couple of them, like I said, are newlyweds. They've decided that they will nip everything in the bud. They have new relationships. They don't want to have anything in there. And they just decide to do it, and that's what they do. And honestly, if that's different strokes for different folks, I just don't really care. Now, if someone was to send me a message and it's in my inbox and someone says like, hey, are you messaging my man? Now then it would affect me. But up to this point,
let's say that were to happen. Would you answer the question or would you just ignore it?
Well, I would ignore it. I mean, that's the truth. I would ignore it.
Yeah.
Now, if they sent me a second message, then I would be like, you obviously have issues. You guys need to communicate. Because that's what I say to any woman who messages me multiple times about her man. You obviously have issues. You need to communicate. This has nothing to do with me.
And then it's like no matter what you say to her, it's not going to go well for you anyway. It's a waste of time.
Well, any woman who messages another woman has just taken the power out of her hand and given it to the other woman. Because you've just told the other woman, I'm insecure and I think my husband's cheating. So whether it's with you or someone else,
that's what's happened.
He's cheating. So whether she's cheating with me, whether he's cheating with me or somebody else, I can fuck with your head.
Yeah.
So as soon as you send me a message, you've just let me know, game on, and I have the board.
Right. Well, you wouldn't be cheating with anyone's husband anyway.
No, but
just hypothetically.
But hypothetically. Right. But that's what I'm saying. So even though it's not me, you just let me know.
And I can fuck with you and say
that
whatever
you're
I
mentally unstable and I'm in control.
But she's mentally unstable because he's probably made her freaking crazy.
Right, but that's what you just told me.
Yeah.
So you've just let me have the power.
Then would you be that mean to play with her?
If she keeps messaging me, I might. Stay out of my inbox. I've already got enough issues in my inbox. I don't need any more. But I mean, that's what it is.
I don't know. That's my personal opinion on shared Facebook accounts. So.
But honestly, the first time I would probably say like, look, I don't even know your dude. Yeah. But then if she came back at me, then I'd be like, bitch, look. He just left my house. Do you want his shit? Come get it.
Oh, God.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I would ignore her then.
Really, Skylar?
She's like, God. This is a whole new podcast on YouTube.
Damn.
You do not see some of the shit that comes through my inbox. You are tuned into Lyfe Uncensored. I'm Skylar Dawn.
And I'm Sean Reeves.
And I'm wearing the horns tonight she has on the wings. Chivalry. Chivalry! Let's talk about it real quick.
Okay.
So this is my favorite time to talk about chivalry because
It's Valentine's.
yes,
It's coming up. Yay.
yes, we just have a couple weeks till Valentine's, and so chivalry. This is when you start preparing, guys. Heads up, this is when you start preparing for Valentine's Day. So for the women in your lives,
Find out what she likes. It's just that simple.
yes,
Ask her.
ask her.
Ask her what she likes.
Or if you're trying to surprise her, do the roundabout, like, oh, this is nice, don't you think? Or you love chocolates, right?
Mhm.
Because like someone like me hates chocolates. So chocolates are not the thing to do.
Or, you know, if she has a Pinterest or something like that, you can check that to see the type of things she likes.
Yes.
Or if she's made like an Amazon wish list. I mean, there are so many ways that you can figure out what it is that she may want. And, you know, around this time of the year, if you're paying attention, women are going to start dropping hints.
Yeah, that's true. Pink roses.
Yeah.
I do like chocolate covered strawberries.
Right.
Even though I don't like chocolates.
Carolina Herrera, good girl. So, you know, they'll let you know.
Money always
My back really, really hurts. Oh, I would love a massage.
No, but seriously, we really do. It's always nicer when you do something that we actually want
Mhm. Yes.
and not something that you just think is cool or you wait until last minute.
Exactly. You know, I don't want to cook dinner tonight. I really have a taste for Italian. You know.
Right. And like someone like me, now I don't know if this is for everyone, but someone like me, I hate crowds. I have social anxiety. I know that's hard to believe with all the stuff that I do, but I don't have to go out on Valentine's Day when it's going to be so crowded everywhere. I can stay in. Like, I mean, I'm not going to cook, but we can get food and stay in. But you got to plan for it. You still have to plan for it.
You know, candlelight, roses, you know, the whole nine.
Yes, but you still have to plan for it.
Right.
So
Make it
don't wait till
romantic.
last minute.
Yeah.
You know? So you got to think things through. See what she's like. If she's someone that has to be out and be seen, she has to Instagram it, then
You know, you may want to take her out. Or if you have a shared Facebook account, check your status. Maybe she's posted about it.
yeah, make sure you see. Or if you have a shared Facebook account and it's okay that you don't post it, then
Yeah.
maybe she's okay staying in.
Or you know what? Ask her girlfriends.
Yes.
Because she's already talked to them about what she wants for Valentine's Day or what her expectations are.
Or they'll know, even if
Yeah,
she hasn't.
they
So,
will.
yeah, they'll
And you know
know.
what? And good girlfriends will help you surprise the women in your life. They will.
'Cause they'll be excited
They will
for
be
her.
excited for her, and they will definitely keep a secret to make certain that the day is special for her.
But if you have a shared Facebook account, don't DM her because your girlfriend will
They'll
see
see
or
it.
wife will see.
Exactly. And don't buy her gifts out of the shared account, because she's going to
Yeah.
check the receipts and the balances.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Of course, don't buy it out of the. Be careful because she might think you're cheating.
What if you take money out of the ATM?
Yeah, if you're going around.
But like, if you
I'm
buy
just
something,
kidding, I'm
if you
just
buy
kidding.
something from like I don't know,
Just kidding.
a jewelry store, and she sees the purchase, she'll
know.
She'll know, and she's gonna automatically assume it's for her. Then you kind of like ruin the surprise.
Yeah, but if you buy like 2 and send us 1, she'll probably forgive you.
Yeah. I
You're tuned into Lyfe Uncensored. We're here each and every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Go over to my Facebook and hit subscribe. It's that red button. I think it's on there. I don't really see it right now, but anyway, subscribe to my YouTube. It's Skyladon, SKYLADAWN, and tune in to us next Tuesday night, 7 p.m. We'll see you then. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Thanks for tuning in.